Hello everyone. So today is the day in which the Women's Prize for Fiction longlist is announced, and I have already had a brief look at it, but not really going through all the books. So I thought we could talk about it here. There were a couple of them that I did recognize. Flashlight by Susan Choi is there, which was also in the Booker. The Correspondent by Virginia Evans, which a lot of people have been reading lately, but I have heard very mixed things about it, and I'm not sure it will be for me. Heart the Lover by Lily King. Absolutely not interested about on it, but has been making the rounds. Audition by Katie Kitamura, which has also been in the Booker. Wild Dark Shore by Charlotte McConaughey is also everywhere these days, and that one I'm interested in. I have read another Charlotte McConaughey and liked it enough to want to read something else. The other ones I don't immediately recognize, so we can go through them and see what they're about. So the first one is Gloria Don't Speak by Lucy Apps. Interesting name. Gloria has a learning disability, she's 19 and there's nothing to do except wander the local parks, look for friendship and keep out of trouble. Or go run Jack. Jack needs Gloria's company, but he's unpredictable and angry at the world. After an act of violence, their friendship has to end. Now Gloria's on her own. But when she hears that Jack's out of prison, her whole world's turned upside down. Maybe. Sounds okay. Very topical to have a Palestinian book in the list, and I think the author might be half Palestinian or something. Could be interesting. It says very lyrical, so that one is something I might read. The next one is Moderation by Elaine Castillo. 30-something girl in Del Mundo works a day job as a content moderator, flagging and removing the very worst that makes it on the internet. She's one of the best at it too. Dispassionate and flinching. So this one is about social media, it looks like. I'm not sure if I would be the most interesting. These books don't always work for me, but this one is one that I might want to read reviews and see what they say. The next one is Dominion by Addie Citchens, maybe, hopefully. A scorching drama full of secrets and sins. The town of Dominion, Mississippi, Reverend Sabre Winfrey is more than a preacher. From his pulpit and the Seven Seals Baptist Church to the airwaves of his local radio station, he exerts influence over every aspect of society. By his side, his wife Priscilla, who types up his sermons and raises their 5 sons, favoring the youngest Wonder Boy. Honestly, this doesn't sound that interesting. I don't think that's one I'm dying to read. The next one is The Benefactors by Wendy Erskine. Looking at this cover, I think I've seen this book around. Intimate histories, class and money, and what being a parent means. It's in Belfast. 3 mothers of 18-year-old boys, and how their kind of life goes. This one maybe. This one could be interesting. Then the next one is The Mercy Step, Marcia Hutchinson. A precious Mercy makes her reluctant entrance into the world, torn from the warm embrace of her mother's womb to a chaotic household that seems to have no place for her. Her siblings do not understand her, her mother's attention is given to the church, and the entire family lives at the whims of her father's quick temper. This sounds like something I've read before, so maybe not. And the next one is The Others by Sheena Kalayil. It's 1989, and in a small Baltic city in the East Germany, the Deutsche Demokratische Republic, 3 young people from vastly different backgrounds become friends. Armando is a factory worker from Mozambique, Lolita is a medical student from India, and Theo is an ex-Berliner who dreams of being a writer. Maybe? Kingfisher by Rozie Kelly. When a creative writing academic becomes infatuated with his colleague, the poet, it's not long before it begins to threaten into his relationship with his partner, Michael. No, doesn't sound like the kind of thing I want to read. The next one is A Guardian and a Thief by Megha Majumdar, which has the same, looks like the exact same cover as the other Megha Majumdar that I think it was in one of these lists. I did read the other one, it was fine, so I'm not sure I want to read that one. Then The Best of Everything by Kid the Wall. I have also read Kid the Wall and it was fine. So yeah, this one doesn't sound anything groundbreaking either, so I don't think that one is something I want to read necessarily. And then the last one is A Beast Slinks Towards Beijing by Alice Evelyn Young. Kyunse has not seen her father in 11 years since he walked out of her life the night of her 14th birthday and disappeared without a trace, but then she gets a call. There's a man on the porch of her childhood home and he's asking for her. Oh, this one seems to have maybe magical realism? Spanning decades and continents, A Beast Sinks Towards Beijing is dark, magical realist family saga that moves through the Japanese occupation of Manchuria, the Cultural Revolution, and the present-day explore effects on intergenerational trauma, the legacy of colonialism, and escapability of fate, standing render folklore. That sounds interesting. So from this list, I think the ones that I'm interested in, probably Paradiso 17, Flashlight. I'm quite like, I haven't read it in all these months since the Booker, but I have heard very good things about it and it's in my library, so I think it's one that I will try to get my hands on eventually. The Benefactors I think could be interesting, and then Wild Dark Shore and A Beast Slinks Towards Beijing seems like the most likely that I will want to read. Now I have to quickly check what's in my library. Okay, so I have taken a look and the ones that my library has are Flashlight, The Correspondent, and Audition, and then they also have Wild Dark Shore in Dutch. The ones that I would say I'm interested enough in that I would want to buy would probably be Flashlight, Wild Dark Shore, and then depending on the reviews, Paradiso 17 and A Beast Links Towards Beijing. The Benefactor sounds interesting if my library gets it, but not running for it. So I think I'm going to probably start by Flashlight, which is the one that my library has in English and I'm interested in. And then we will see. They often get the other books as the months go on, once they become popular with the price. I'm surprised that Wild Dark Shore they don't have, but they have it in Dutch, so eventually they'll probably get it in English as well. It has a lot of books I had heard about before, which is unusual. I think most of the times in these prices I have not heard about anything before, or one or two books, and in this one I had heard about like 4 or 5, which it's quite a lot for me. But yeah, it's not one that is, there are a lot of books here that sound like something I have read before, and they have their merits, I'm sure, but not knowing what the form is or what the twist of the story might be, they all kind of sound like things I have read before, except for a couple of them. So not a super exciting list for me, but I also have the feeling that I often don't get super excited at the first check of a list, and then reviews start to come out, and then I see like specifics of how the story is told that are often not fitted in the blurb, and then I get more excited about some of these books. So we will see. I hope my library gets a little bit more of the books I'm interested in, and until next video, bye!